Ryan Manchee here with Basis Technologies. I'm very excited to sit down with Martin Ekechukwu with A-Frame Brands. He is the Chief Strategy Officer. Fascinating organization, portfolio of brands.
Yeah.
Martin, maybe can you tell us a little bit more about A-Frame Brands and what's so fascinating with that?
Happy to. So A-Frame Brands was started by Hill Harper and Ari Bloom with, honestly, the thesis was around solving problems for underserved, underrepresented groups. What we found was that the one-size-fits-all model around personal care at the time when we started the company has honestly been outdated for a long time. As the demographics in the United States have changed, how do you create products and brands that really address these unaddressed issues over time, such as eczema, melanoma, obesity, diabetes, things like that. All these things that we call head-scratchingly obvious problems if you do a Google search around underrepresented groups and the challenges that may be afflicting those groups, what those things may be. So we started off by solving problems, and the first problem we wanted to go after was melanoma within the persons of color category, because unfortunately, people of color, they succumb to melanoma 4 times greater than anybody else. So we said, listen, what can we create that truly helps to address the situation? So we developed a sun care, skincare line specifically for melanin-rich skin. And then we went to Naomi Osaka and worked with her directly to kind of figure out, is this a brand she would like to work with and further develop, because we create this concept, but then we work with a full team and talent team to bring it fully to life. And so we went to their team at William Morris and worked with them on building something out fully. Same thing with Proudly, which is a baby and bum care line for children under 5. Again, the problem we're trying to solve there is eczema for children of color. And we had the concept initially written, and then we went to Gabrielle Union Dwayne Wade, the actress and the Hall of Fame basketball player. And we said, listen, this is something that works for you guys when it comes to developing a brand. And they loved it. We went down a rabbit hole and brought something to life. And most recently, we brought to life a brand called Loved One with John Legend. And it's a grooming and skincare line for melanin-rich skin, which is non-gender specific. Anybody can use it, in all honesty. And there was all around the problem about the moisture loss within persons of color. And we built that out. Now it's in 2,000 doors at CVS, and 1,000 doors at Walmart. And even Naomi Osaka's skincare line is in 4,000 doors at Walmart. And Gabrielle Union Dwayne Wade's Proudly is in all doors at Target. So it's been a crazy ramp up in 24 months bringing these products to life, but we're here.
That's fascinating. And so is that the model for those future products? You come up with a concept, you find the talent, the kind of ambassador that's going to be heavily involved with it to help promote the brand, and that just kind of keep repeating that?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. We're building all these brands to sell, for sure. But the entire thesis was all built around solving problems, one problem at a time, right? And building brands. But our talent actually are not endorsers. They are full owners in every single entity we create. We are 50-50 joint venture partners in all of this. They are absolutely part of the decision-making process, the full strategic process, and they really help us to bring this product to market with their teams, themselves individually, and really giving us that last 40-50% from the time we have a concept to market, add additional layers where consumers can really latch onto. So as a result, them being founders is much more of intrinsic motivation for them and for us really to make sure this works. And what was fascinating is that because of their belief in what they're doing, the people around them have also invested in the same things that we've invested in. So Naomi Osaka's trainer has invested, stylists, makeup artists, people like that have really built a belief that this thing is really needed in the market, and they've come in as well.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. What have been some of the challenges for each of those? I mean, you get amazing folks who are heavily involved. They've got a vested interest. Mm-hmm. They're able to pull in those folks that are around them, solving a great needs that are out there to underserved community. It sounds great, but it's not without challenges. What are some of those challenges?
Well, honestly, because we're doing things a little bit differently, it's been kind of interesting to kind of see it come together, because the retailers, we're going back to the retailers and we're telling them, where would this be placed on shelf? And they sometimes frankly don't know because we're coming at it in a little bit of a different way. Because for a long time, a lot of the big box retailers had like a multicultural section, and we're telling them for this to be effective, you can't just put it back in the multicultural section.
Yeah.
You have to put it in other places within the store as well to be able to get a broad base of consumers. But because not everyone that's maybe of color may be shopping there, they're probably shopping somewhere else too. So why just put it into one corner? So we've been encouraging them to think differently about every single one of the brands. That's been the biggest challenge, but they're all really coming along beautifully, which is nice. We have to kind of have a learning curve to get there. And the other challenge has been just having a very matrixed organization, because we have talent teams to work with, we got brands that we're developing, we got operational teams, we got agencies. So as a small company, we're managing an umpteen number of people and managing traffic from different locations. Plus, we're also working with, we've hired incredible brand presidents that bring this to life, and we're making sure we give them everything that we have available to us to make them successful. And again, they're also pulling down resources that we may have. So we found ourselves like in this beautiful place at the end of the day, but it's new for everyone. It's new for brand presidents, new for talent, new for retailers, even new for talent teams. And because talent teams typically have been on the reverse, to where a brand would come to them and say, let's create something for you, versus really going after and building something that's truly needed in the marketplace, where the talent has an affinity, or the talent has a particular ownership of that category.
That's great. That's great. I love that. So you talked a little bit about it with the brand presidents and kind of driving more of that. I'm really interested in where you all have seen success and getting the message out. It's great that you've got these owners that are heavily involved and able to leverage their network, but gotta imagine there's areas beyond that. Have y'all invested? Have you explored the paid media space? Are you advertising heavily? And if so, what does that look like?
We've got a digital media strategy.
Yeah.
We work on partnerships as much as possible, finding as many paid and non-paid and earned media partners as well. But what we've really been focusing on has been education content for the most part. So we have a dermatologist of color who's been doing this her entire career to really build exactly what the ingredient needs to be, the formulas, and directing how we're really creating a product to bring it to market, where it actually has the efficacy that's required for the audience that's going to be receiving it. So when we come to our communication strategy, it's really a full 360 omni-channel approach. Like, for example, Loved One just now, we've got a billboard in Times Square, but then we also have a digital team which will be doing direct-to-consumer marketing shortly, right? Or Proudly, which is heavy in digital and social, to ensure that we're going after moms of color and bringing them to the table to see what new products are available for their children. So we're using multiple paid and organic and earned media opportunities to kind of get there. We're also looking at partners and agencies that really have a unique lens on how to really build out a communication pathway to get our consumers to kind of understand that we're a new brand, we're a new company, we're a startup, but we have something that's for them.
When you look across the industry and hearing, I guess, the marketing and advertising industry, and look at the new technologies, the new innovations that are happening out there, a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement about different things. Martin, what are you excited about? What gets you really jazzed?
Honestly, the things I've been really looking at to date has been, how do you leverage retail data, and how do you follow retail data to direct to consumers, and how do you ultimately how do you ultimately own them when they come to your website? Like, because I may discover the brand for the first time on shelf, but I may never go online to be able to discover you further. So how do I bring you from retail shelf to our website, to our social media? And so we've been exploring technologies like that. I'm also looking at SMS and WhatsApp opportunities as well, because I feel like consumers are looking for a way to reconnect with brands in much more of a personal way, and really understand what makes a brand tick, or even resources and educational material that they're looking for that we can provide a lot easier sometimes with an SMS and WhatsApp. Other things I'm looking at are, TikTok strategy still continues to be a big piece of it, and leveraging TikTok there. AI, I've been looking at AI has been a nice ChatGPT, obviously probably the biggest buzzword for South by Southwest this entire last few days. But for me, it's been about, how do you use ChatGPT as a starting point for good thinking and good content, and things that you may not necessarily have seen in the past that you'd like to bring forward. But to me, it's not the end all be all. It becomes a something that starts the creative conversation versus it is the creative solution.
I love that. I love that. One final question for you. If I gave you a magic wand right now and you could fix one thing, let's say maybe more in the industry, in your world, there's a lot, right? It's probably a deep conversation, but yeah, let's say within the industry, within your world, for like a frame, what would that be? What's you flick that magic wand, what would you fix?
Honestly, the main thing I would fix is I would ask all of the buyers, all the retailers, and I would have them fix the way they look at the consumer journey experience in the retail store. To take back the entire thinking that consumers are only shopping in one particular way. They're shopping in a variety of ways. They're seeing things on Instagram feeds and they want to look for it in the store. They are discovering brands in unique ways, and you're still putting it up in a very traditional sort of manner with your shelf sets and the end caps and everything else. I would wave my magic wand and allow the consumer journey that you find online and direct to consumer to show up in real world, in real physical world in a better way.
I love that. You bring it back where it's not only for the consumers, for a needed product and products, but also making sure that experience for them to discover and ultimately buy that's as good as possible. So Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you, Martin. I really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.